Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collingwood for YouTube, and I'm here to do my second and final video for tonight. This series of videos was requested by Mark Gilman. Shout out to you, my friend. Uh, huge shout out. So, I have been doing these videos by request where I've been comparing John Carpenter's Halloween characters to Rob Zombie's. And to preference, I'm sticking with the first two Halloweens for John and for Rob's. Rob only ever made two, but you get what I'm saying. Now, who am I doing? Laurie Strode. So, what were the similarities, or what are the similarities and differences? Okay, here's I'm going to start off with a difference. Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode is very shy and timid. In John Carpenter's Halloween. Now, she will get confrontational, as we see where and again, both have human errors, so I've got to include this here too. Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie Strode, though shy and timid. When she thinks it's her friends pranking her, when she walks over to the Wallace house, joke's over, meatheads. You'll be sorry. Not as sorry as you're about to be. So you like that? So she has no problem being confrontational, but for the most part, Jamie Lee Curtis's character is very shy. She's very timid. She doesn't shout or yell too much. That comes later in H2O. Even in Halloween 2, but I would say that she's more willing to she shouts a little bit. But she's still timid. Scout Taylor Compton's Laurie Strode, however, is very much in your face and has no problem getting in it and shouting at you. Excuse me. And that's what makes her so interesting too, because it's like, wow, this is not your Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. They're taking this up a notch. she has no problem shouting and cursing. So, yes, there are differences with these characters. Now, here's some similarities. Both characters are perceived to be innocent, but both are not as innocent as they seem. With Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode, she smokes a joint. She gets high. I'm not saying that you're the devil if you get high or anything. That's sort of what the perception is, where she's smoking a joint. Oh, she's not as innocent as we're leaving you to believe. So, it's okay, as long as she's a virgin. Oh, God. With Scout Taylor Compton's Laurie Strode, she's making a joke. She's making a joke about child molestation. And no, that's not the best thing to joke about, but I don't hold it against her. I don't think that makes the character bad, necessarily. I do think that they could have did something else there with that, sure, but again, they're trying to perceive the characters as innocent, but not that innocent. Both characters are very young and attractive. Scout Taylor Compton's character, Laurie Strode, does wear glasses throughout Rob's Halloween. Laurie Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode doesn't. That's what something I found interesting too. Now they do both babysit, obviously. Now here's where some key differences lie with this. Laurie Strode is only babysitting Tommy Doyle and ends up babysitting Lindsay Wallace because Annie's gonna get horny, and Paul's gonna call Paul, who was played by John Carpenter. I wonder if he'll make a cameo as Paul. But anyway, I'm meaning in Halloween Kills, by the way. It's a little joke. Could you imagine if that happens? Yeah. God. So, Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode ends up babysitting both kids instead of just one. And really, Scout Taylor Compton ends up babysitting two kids instead of one. But I think she was always going to babysit two kids. So, if memory serves me, it probably won't. So, oh God, can take those senior life meds. So now, what are the biggest differences with the nights of the babysitting nights? Laurie Strode does not discover her friends having sex. Her friend's naked body where she had sex. I should say Jamie Lee Curtis's. She discovers her friend's body in an upstairs bedroom. I'm sure she could deduct they had sex. One of them at least had sex, but yeah, Annie laying on the bed and the headstone. God, that's still fucking creepy. I don't care. And again, huge credit to Daniel Killenberg. That's perhaps where the sister connection could lie in the original. Now, with Scout's Laurie, she sees Annie's naked body, like half naked body on the floor, bleeding. She's in bad shape, man. And Laurie, look, this is sort of where the similarities and differences sort of intertwine. They go down, then they drastically split, okay? Both characters, here's where there's some similarities. Both characters get put through physical and mental hell by one Michael Audrey Myers. And both characters live with that hell in unique ways. Obviously, we're going to see Laurie Strode in H2O. She's drinking. She said she's tried every sort of therapy and then nothing helped. And I believe her. With Scouts, Laurie Strode, she goes down a very different and darker path, but the similarity is she has lived with this hell. She has lived through this hell, and Scouts Laurie Strode is going to do a 180 turn into a heel where Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode isn't. And I think that's really the biggest difference in a nutshell between these two characters. Scout's Laurie, I should say, is going to become a heel. She's going to become eventually the killer, or eventually be led into this woman's going to be a killer. Um, that's my interpretation of it. Her in a mental hospital, stabbing. She stabs Michael. But my interpretation is this woman's going to be a killer. She's going to be the next version of Michael Myers. It felt like they were having her, especially in Rob's by the end, they were going to have her take up Michael's mantle. That's how I interpreted it. Now, with Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, you don't get that at all, and that's a great thing. She's tormented by the fact that, and again, I'm going to make this point for 2018 too when I do 1978 and 2018 on the 16th. I'm going to do that video too. I'm going to add another video for you guys. Laurie Strode, it was her friends that Michael came after. And, whether you include if you include the sister connection like I do, holy shit, that's crazy. But you still wonder why he did it. It's like, okay, but why? Because your fucking sister? That doesn't make sense. Still, like, damn, dude, like, damn, got issues. Crazy bastard. So if you do just 2018, I think Laurie herself wonders why her friends, why did he come after us? And I think that's Laurie really cared for her friends even in death. I think that's another big difference too, that Laurie really gave a shit about her friends, even in death. And I think 2018 gets that across beautifully, by the way. I'm not trying to jump on to 2018, but I'm going to talk about it on the 16th. With Scouts, she did give a shit about her friends, but when she felt Annie was keeping secrets from her, even though Annie had no idea that she was related to Michael Myers. Scout's Laurie is wrong, though she's wrong for what she says to Annie. She's basically cutting ties with her almost. It felt like she didn't really, but she was really pissed at her. Like, really, really pissed. She was mad at her. And then she really doesn't get to take it back either. Because Annie dies in part 2, which is, again, I think that's another heartbreaking moment. So, again, they did make you... Both actresses make you feel for their characters emotionally. I think that's a great job by both. Now, I mentioned the human error. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode's human error is going over to that house thinking it's her friends. Thinking that it's her friends, and that even when she gets in the house, like I said, joke's over, you'll be sorry, meatheads. Yeah, we know who will be sorry. It won't be your friends, they're dead. With Scouts, the human error with her is, again, with her friends too, but in an opposite way, with Annie and Rob's too, and just really, really, I think at times too, Scouts, Laurie really does underestimate Michael Myers. Even though he's really tall. I think she does. At least in my opinion. If you disagree, it's fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed. I'm pretty sure I got everything out in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will do Sheriff Bracket next. I don't know when I'll do Sheriff Bracket, but I will do Sheriff Bracket next. Just not tonight. But you guys have a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me hear you guys' thoughts on Laurie Strode. Oh, goodness.